Good afternoon and thanks for joining us on 𝐾𝐤𝐼𝐴 TV. My name is James Preston and this is News Beyond the Markets, a special show that will get you all the news that matters to you to kickstart your day no matter where you might be watching from. First up on the News Beyond the Markets is a ranking update from Economist Intelligence Unit, or the EIU. COVID-19 has shaken up the Economist Intelligence Unit's annual ranking of the most livable cities, propelling Auckland to first place. Auckland has now replaced Vienna to take the top spot on the list. Vienna crashed out of the top 10 as the island nations of New Zealand, Australia and Japan fared best. The Austrian capital, should I say, has led for the first time since 2018 and for years ran neck and neck with Melbourne at the top of the survey of 140 urban centres. New Zealand's elimination of COVID-19, along with its borders through lockdown measures, helped by its geographic isolation, gave its cities a big boost. The EIU said in a statement that New Zealand's tough lockdown allowed their society to reopen and enabled citizens of cities like Auckland and Wellington to enjoy a lifestyle that looked quite similar to pre-pandemic life. The EIU generally does not make the full rankings public. The last time Auckland was in the top 10 was in 2017 when it came in at 8th, a position Melbourne shared with Geneva this year. Vienna, our former number one, fell to 12th position this time around. Illustrating New Zealand's advantage this year, Wellington also cracked the top 10. It came in at 4th behind Osaka, which rose 2 spots to 2nd place, and homegrown Adelaide, which also leapfrogged its compatriots in Sydney and Melbourne to 3rd place, all the way up from 10th position. The most recent rankings available are from 2019, as last year's rankings were cancelled. Moving on from the livable cities ratings to the concerning scam saga that has been keeping the intelligence authorities on their toes. And according to the ACCC's latest targeting scams report, payment redirection scams were the most financially damaging scams for Australian businesses in 2020. Combined losses reported to ScamWatch, other government agencies, banks and payment platforms totaled $128 million in 2020. Reports to ScamWatch show that Australian businesses lost $18 million to scams in 2020, a 260% increase on losses reported compared to 2019. ACCC Deputy Chair Mick Keogh said that small and micro businesses made most of the reports to ScamWatch and experienced an increase in losses in 2020, although larger businesses also reported higher losses. In fact, they had the highest losses of all. Based on ScamWatch data alone, false billing scams were the most commonly reported scams by businesses and accounted for 3/4 of total losses to businesses. Small and micro businesses accounted for almost 60% of these false billing reports. There are a range of false billing scams, but the most common type was payment redirection scams, also known as business email compromise scams, with 1,300 reports and $14 million in total losses. This is a substantial increase from the 900 reports and $5 million in losses reported in 2019. And now it's time for a very short break, and on the other side of our break here on 𝐾𝐤𝐼𝐴 TV, we'll take a closer look at how these scams operate and how businesses can save themselves from such scams.
New Zealand is unique, and 𝐾𝐤𝐼𝐴 TV is here to bring you all the latest news and trending market updates. Streaming across multiple platforms, so no matter where you are, whether it be at the beach or on the farm, you can count on the team here at 𝐾𝐤𝐼𝐴 TV to be your home for accessing the latest valuable insights into global issues that are affecting New Zealanders. Subscribe to our channels across YouTube, Facebook, also visit 𝐾𝐤𝐼𝐴.co.nz.
Welcome back to 𝐾𝐤𝐼𝐴 TV. James Preston with you for News Beyond the Markets. And if you're just joining us, before the break, we were having a little look at some scams reporting data, and we're going to continue on that train of thought right now. The ACCC has reported that a new type of scam was particularly observed in 2020. Namely, it was a payment redirection scam where scammers impersonate a business or its employees via email and request an upcoming payment be redirected to a fraudulent account. ScamWatch also observed a new type of scam in 2020 that targeted farmers looking for a good deal on tractors and farm machinery, a very niche scam indeed. Scammers advertised equipment at prices well below market value and told farmers that they couldn't view the tractors prior to purchase due to the government's restrictions from the COVID-19 pandemic. Farmers then made payments to secure these special deals when in reality the equipment never actually existed. Farmers were conned out of $1.1 million in these scams alone. Businesses were also targeted by health and medical scams in 2020. About half of the $3.9 million in total losses reported to health and medical scams were from businesses as they attempted to procure personal protective equipment, or PPE, for their staff to comply with government guidelines during the COVID-19 pandemic. Other scam types that impacted businesses throughout the year included phishing, identity theft and hacking scams. 𝐴CCC Deputy Chairman Mr. Keogh said that the 𝐴CCC provides a range of resources for businesses on how to avoid scams on the ScamWatch website and in media releases throughout the year. Businesses that have been scammed should contact their bank as soon as possible. If the scam occurred on a platform such as Facebook, it's best to then contact that platform directly to report it. Businesses can also report a scam to Report Cyber, which is run by the Australian Cyber Security Centre and passes reports to law enforcement agencies for assessment and intelligence purposes. The 𝐴CCC encourages businesses to make a report on the ScamWatch website in addition to the platform they may have been scammed on. They can also follow @ScamWatch_Gov on Twitter and subscribe to ScamWatch radar alerts for more information about current and emerging scams. The Small Business Information Network also provides details about new or updated resources, enforcement action changes to Australia's competition and consumer laws, events, surveys and scams that are all relevant to the small business sector. Well, that's it for this edition of News Beyond the Markets on 𝐾𝐤𝐼𝐴 TV, but there is more pressing updates across the globe and right here in Australia. We'll take a look at those in a little bit of time, but Sage will be in with you next for a very special interview with Mark Perry. That's it for me for 𝐾𝐤𝐼𝐴 TV.